This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. I have got Lorraine Mercer with me. You came in from Kemptville today. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
You're here to talk about Compassionate North Grenville. It's been around for about a year now.
Yes.
Okay, you are a co-chair of the steering committee too. So let's talk about what is Compassionate North Grenville.
Oh, it's an evolving movement. It's not a service. It's not a agency, but really it's a movement. Kind of like the participation movement was in, or is in Canada, to promote healthy, active living. So Compassionate North Grenville is about promoting compassion. And that is, what we find is people have a hard time asking for help, or stumble over how to offer help, or people don't know how to accept help.
Right.
They say, no, not me, I don't need that, not yet, that sort of thing. But our focus, well, we've been around for about a year, and we started connecting with agencies, community groups, faith communities, funeral homes, lawyers. Just about anybody was invited to the table and continues to be invited to the table to develop this way of being, this movement. And we did lots of community grassroots development and formed a steering committee last December. We wrote up a document to try to ground ourselves and be able to explain ourselves. That includes a vision, a mission, values, and 9 aspirations. We didn't call them goals. They sound a little tough, but what we'd like to accomplish. And if I may, I'll try to remember them all. The first was to look at how can we foster policies in our workplaces, where we work, where we learn, where we pray, and where we play. So that's pretty inclusive of the community. Mm-hmm. How can we foster compassionate acts and policies in all of those venues? So we need to connect with all of those places. So that's why we've brought lots of people to the table. We also want to foster the ideas of arts and culture, help them foster compassion. We hope to have a competition someday, of an arts competition towards showing compassion, and that could be in the like painting or and the performance, music, whatever. But it would have to come from the community, not me saying, here's a fund, go do something. And we hope to, well, we've working with the municipality, and that's a part of one of our aspirations, is to have a good connection with the municipality. And I can say, check that box, we're doing really well there. They've responded so positively with resources. We have a grant from the community to help us develop presentations and to develop our social media. We need to develop a website.
And Mayor Nancy Peckford and the councillors are wonderful people.
Yes, they are.
Wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they contribute to what we hope are stories about compassion. And they also established a Compassionate Care Award, a civic award, that's being awarded tonight. And it's an annual award. And if I may, I'll tell you, it's a public knowledge that the award for the Compassionate Award winner for this year is Brenda Ward.
Oh, I know Brenda.
You know
she's been here before too. Yes.
Yes. Well, it's because of her work as the Poppy Lady.
Yes.
That she an artistic expression of remembrance, and she tells the story of noting that it was Remembrance Day during COVID times and we couldn't do anything.
Right.
So she learned about this idea of doing lots of poppies, crocheting or knitting poppies, and doing an artistic installation. So she approached the Legion, and they said, well, we can't have any parades this year, so she determined, she got her knit and natter women to knit poppies, and so with the first 50 to 100, they created a display on the clock tower in the downtown core.
Right.
Now, I'm new to the area, but I know that when I've toured through Kemptville as a tourist, and I saw that display, it warmed my heart, it brought me to tears, because it's an extraordinary display of love, remembrance, sorrow, so appropriate. So I've always had a liking for it. So I nominated her for that award because it's an artistic expression. And so she told me that while she's organized it, she hasn't crocheted or knit a single poppy. That's all volunteers.
Wow.
Driven to, and locally, and people have donated them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's something Compassionate North Grenville has done in collaboration with the municipality, create an award and celebrate that beautiful installation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It just gets bigger and bigger every year, too.
Yes,
Yes. Oh,
And I
wow.
must confess, I taught myself how to crochet,
Oh, yes?
and I have 50 poppies to give to her.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm just delighted that poppies are sort of natural, so they're not all the same. A little wonky over here.
Oh,
yeah.
well, that's compassion, too. Look at, she's
Yes,
how
it's a
many
ripple
people?
effect.
Yes, it
right.
really is.
Once you see it, you go, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's
And-
what we're about.
And when before we started taping, you were saying you're storytellers too, story sharers, and that's a story right there. Like
Yes.
that's
that
absolutely
communicates.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, storytelling, it's talked about a lot in popular press, tell our stories. But I mean, it's pervasive in all cultures, in all faith communities. It's just the way we are. It's how we know and learn. So it's inclusive. Anybody can tell a story. And you don't have to be a crafty knitter or a person willing to come and be interviewed.
Just have some compassion, you know, think of the other person when you're talking to somebody, or, you know, put yourself in their shoes for a moment, you know. Like, and another story we were sharing before we started taping as well, too, is like when you're going through a rough time in your life, who
Yeah.
steps up?
Yes, that's what we want to demonstrate. Is it's the local businesses that step up. You know, like I was telling you that we can move that the local transportation system can be expanded to accommodate someone's individual need. And a local business person told their story of how they know their customers who come in regularly, and they know when they're not well. They hear when
Yes.
someone's in hospital or has a difficult diagnosis. And they go out and they take a treat and go visit that person.
That's
you
right.
know, and that's what it's. I don't think we're working from nothing. I think the North Grenville area is very compassionate, and it's
They
just a
are.
matter of elevating the profile and enhancing the supports that we can make it available to everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. I told you earlier, I'm with Community Living North Grenville, and I have been for 39 years. And you know, we get people involved in their community, and there's a lot of compassion out there.
Yeah.
We've got some good stories to tell
Absolutely.
out there too. So it's always nice, but you depend on your community.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what it's about.
That's right.
Grassroots, not top down, and
That's right.
See what we can do.
Now, do you meet regularly, or how does that work?
There's a steering committee that formed
Okay.
last fall. So there's 6 of us, and we are trying to establish our social media, our internet site. We did have a very well-received presentation dealing with advanced care planning and
Yes,
promoting
I saw that.
it.
Yes,
Yeah,
at the
and
library, I believe.
It was held
Yes,
at the library. Another partner. See,
Yes.
partnerships is important. The municipality, Beth Donovan Hospice, and the library archives kind of signed on to say, yeah, we're available to make this community project work. And in that case, they hosted, the library hosted, 40 people came from the community to learn about advanced care planning, to take home booklets to do it on their own, or there's people trained to lead workshops or trained to walk with you through advanced care planning, and those staff at the hospice are trained to do so. So we did that open to the community event, and then the Beth Donovan Hospice says, contact us, we'll follow up and help you through if you like. So those kind of connections.
Connections are
And
great.
the library's been great. And another great story, someone said, I'd like to know about, and they named a specific need, wanting to know about home support services.
Right?
And the speaker was responding to the questions, and he says, well, I don't really know the answer. Does anyone here? And standing in front was the CEO of our local library. She's pointing to her name tag, which said North Grenville Public Library, and she says, the library is a resource for all kinds of information.
Right.
So, and the librarians are trained and warm and welcoming, excellent. all librarians are.
Yes.
And go to the local library and they'll help you find support services.
That's right.
So that was a connection that worked well, and
Yeah,
I'm happy
I
to
believe
share it here.
we had somebody in from the North Grenville Library a couple of weeks ago. I believe her name was Emily.
Yes.
And I mean, libraries are such a good resource for
Oh, yeah.
people. It's not just books. Some people come in just to get warm.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people come in, they don't have computers. Some
Yeah.
people, you know, that's a great resource for people.
It is,
Yeah,
yeah. Staying connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what Compassionate North Grenville is about.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So how do people get a hold of you if they want to become a resource or become, you know, maybe want some help?
Yeah, well, right now we're working on our social media. We do have a Facebook page,
Yes?
which is Compassionate North Grenville. And we have an email address that I get pinged on, so I'll receive it as well as another person. But the email address is compassionateng@gmail.com. And stay tuned for the internet, the website to be developed.
Okay.
But we have the funds for that, and we're going to proceed with that soon.
Well, I'd like to invite you to come back and share your stories. We'd like to be a resource for you to be able to share your stories. So
Okay.
you're more than welcome to come back. We like good news here at FYI.
Yes, there's lots of it to share.
Yes, there is, for sure, for sure. Well, thank you for joining us today and coming all the way from Kempville.